They're making a new Three Stooges movie? No! It's gonna be terrible! That's gonna be horrible! That's not gonna be funny! That was actually funny. That was actually really funny. Now that's the way to make a reboot. Oh, really? Ugh. The Three Stooges. What could you say about them? Well, if you're a boy, you'd say they are comic legends. Definitely the masters of slapstick art. Right up there with Lucy, Soupy Sales, and the slapstick stuff actresses from those Rich Challen videos. I, like most of us, grew up with these guys, so you can imagine I was appalled when I heard that they were making a new movie. I thought, oh great, they're gonna get some famous names who will probably put their own spin on the characters. But then I saw it, and you know what? It was actually funny. And it actually paid homage to the original comedians. But wait, why am I talking about this on the V.C.R? Oh yeah, the Stooges actually had a cartoon series. It was made for television back in 1965, making this the newest and only made-for-TV cartoon I've ever reviewed on this show. But I think I can make an exception for them. To be honest, I'm rather shocked that these are even in the public domain. Most filmmakers are aware of how difficult it was to even show their image in their movie without skyrocketing their budget to James Cameron level just from royalties alone. Explains why Tarantino didn't use much more than this in Pulp Fiction.
Please.
Yes, indeed. Hold hands, you lovebirds.
Of course, even Sam Raimi knew how to use a fake shump once in a while. I'm sure 2% of the people who actually got that are booing me right now. Anyway, let's talk about the show. The setup was terrific. Much like the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, we were greeted by the actual Stooges who set up our cartoon scenario. That's the original Moe and Larry with their sixth and final Stooge, Joe Dorita, a.k.a. Curly Joe. The Curly Joe. That's the second Curly and the second Joe. That's more confusing than Samantha Stevens' two dicks. The cartoon segment resembled the styles of the late 1950s, early 1960s design, kind of like Jay Ward's Rocky and Bullwinkle or Fractured Fairy Tale. Normal tactics of the time, TV animation then was never really given the budget to make it look like Disney or MGM's Tiffany quality short films. But still, they looked good. The stories were very simple, but that's probably better than something that would have been too complex for this. The best thing about this is that that's actually them doing the voices, in tune form. They're authentic. Which makes what I have to say even more painful. Okay, my biggest pet peeve with this is that I have so far sat through 5 of these, and not once have I seen an eye poke or a head bump or anything that made the Three Stooges physical comedy so hilarious. How could you make a Stooges cartoon and not include that? Well, I've heard several reasons. For one, it was because the Stooges were getting too old. Well, I can understand that, except they're cartoons. And I've also heard that it was because in the 1960s, television was trying to tone down their violence. Oh, sure, that makes sense to remove an eye poke in a time period where you could see the Vietnamese soldier getting assassinated. Also, what about this?
You really know how to hurt a guy.
Heading for the city, man. We're just been fired. Fired at, you mean?
Okay, so shooting them is okay, but a bump on the head? That's just inappropriate. Whatever the reason is, I think leaving it out is dumb. It's like making a cartoon of the Marx Brothers and having Harpo talk. Besides that, it's the unoriginal concept. Again, it's a cartoon. Set them in space or in BC or do a crossover with Hoppity Hooper. That would have been awesome. Finally, and this one's hard to explain, but the charisma. When I watch Dizzy Doctors or Disorder in the Court, something about their timing or facial expressions, I don't know, but it just makes me laugh.
Where you heading?
These, well, don't. I mean, I often wonder how someone like Tex Avery or Bob Clampett would have handled this. At any rate, the cartoons lasted until 1966 and it had 156 episodes, although only 40 of them had live-action bookends. They were nowhere near their best, they were part of their film history, and much like the Star Trek cartoon, should at least be appreciated by fans. Most of them could be found on those 100-plus DVDs, so check them out. Just don't expect this.
Ready? Hold it.
This is Waddle from Watchwaddle saying... You numbskulls.
You darn kids. This'll teach you to be violent around here.